A long time ago, in a distant land, there lived a king and his 3 daughters who lived in a castle of great glorious and grandeur. King was named King David, who still ruled his country when he was no longer young, and his 3 daughters were not yet married at the age required for a princess in his country. Her first daughter is 25 years old, and her second daughter is 23 years old, and her last daughter is Tina, 21 years old. The girls were just 2 years apart from the first and second children and the second to the third. According to his ancestors' belief that if he had 3 young women of the same age, then marriage could not pass the time of 26 years for his eldest daughter. Then it will bring calamity and tribulation for his kingdom. This made the king very concerned about the circumstances of his daughters who were not married at all. He did not want his kingdom to be in a bad way if he had passed away and the kingdom needed a successor after his death. And then one night, lit by only the moonlight and the lights and everything inside the castle was so quiet. In his dimly lit room, it was as though the king looked gloomy and brooding all by himself, gazing at the poorly formed, full moon. The look on his face revealed that he had been thinking of something that made him sleepless since his meeting with his imperial advisor Mr. Wilson an hour ago.
I'm old, not to be king in my country, yet none of my daughters are married. Not even a prince from another land will take this girl. Is this a girl? It has us to marry its mother first. Or a daughter crushed for my mistress. Oh Lord, if this is true, what a treat fate for my 3 daughters, and would be free dangers to their future. And what will the people think if my girls don't get married? Surely they will think that my kingdom has been crushed, and there will be no future here. It must not be left alone. I must put together a plan to find my daughter a couple for.
King!
Aha, well, there you are. How dare you disturb me? Have you forgotten the ethical way to go into the king's room?
Before, I just want to say that it was time.
The time? Oh, yes, you are. The time. Prepare all.
Yes, my king, we will be prepared for your skin and nails now.
Shh! Don't put all fun of the audience.
Oops, I'm sorry, sir.
Go away.
When the wedding time for his 3 daughters was already prepared by the king on the advice of the oldest advisor in the kingdom, the king arranged for his 3 daughters to marry on a suitable day for his daughters. The next day, the king invited the kings of neighboring lands and their children, the prince to be the fiancé of his 3 daughters. The king intentionally invited them to a banquet for the evening meal. And in the middle of the party,
Overall, prince of the seaside lands, I'm the king of the lane. To introduce your 3rd wife to you. one, his name is Mia. The second, he is called Laila. And the last one is Tina. The point of the background was accurately together the handsome and the grand prince of to follow. The contest had agreed. The contest one of my 3 daughters, 3 girls. If the 3 young men who found his jewel, then it would be husband of my daughter. Do you understand? Your time to search the 3 triggers is only until the eye of the day rise. If you find one of 3 jewels waiting for the eye to rise, then bring it into the place and show me, and you can start now.
Time passed, and night began to dissolve, but the sun did not come. The 2 jewels were discovered by the 2 dashing, tanned princes. First named Al-Khazam, he was the prince of the Middle East who had a spiky tan eyes, a spiky nose, an exotic cuter, and a rather muscular body. Prince Al-Khazam discovered Zamru. Prince Al-Khazam was smiling after he found Zamru, and then he is at Zamrut's right hand in a good mood. The second was Prince Luke Andre. He was the prince of the finest chocolate-producing land. And he also had a sharp blue eyes, a white complexion, a sharp-edged nose, a tall proscendent body, and he found ruby jewelry. Prince Luke Andre was delighted that no one knew the man who was always considered to be such a snob kept his heart to the second daughter, who must have been Layla's since their age. But he was too proud to reveal that he liked Princess Layla and wanted to ask her a hand. This contest allowed Luke Andre to marry Layla's sweetheart without having to say that he wanted to hire Layla. Both have been found in the hands of the prince, whom the king already knew well. This made the king very happy that his 2 daughters Mia and Layla would surely marry Prince Al-Khazam and Luke Andre. And yet the king was still not pleased that the other was still undiscovered by any prince. But suddenly a frog jumped into the pond and reappeared on the ground carrying the diamonds.
I found! The outer moment is the diamond. You're not a prince. I'm doing accounts for the prince, not a frog. I am a prince, the frog prince. For the promise you have sworn, King David, from this moment on I claim your 3rd daughter, Tina, become to queen for me.
Hearing such frog speech angered the king's countenance. Then he just left and the contest was over when the 3 princes found Zamru, ruby and diamonds. Without closure, because the king was too upset that Tina's daughter was claimed by a frog.
Daddy, are you okay? Shouldn't father be happy? After all, 3 jewels were found by the 3 princes. Then, why is his expression like that? Why?
Dad, how about our future husband? Are they handsome and decent? Why are you looking at me like that? Did Dad take it personally when I told him about my future husband? Or is there something bad for me?
The wedding day. in the castle and beyond the castle are so beautifully adorned and luxurious. Inspiring to all in the country or across the country is the marriage of Mia's daughter Layla and Tina's daughter, to be held even more than the marriage of the previous daughter and son of the king. Mia, Layla and Tina are in their rooms. They are being groomed by their famous dressers all over the country, and their wedding dresses are specially designed by her famous designer. In Tina's room, Tina is so happy that she's wearing her wedding dress and is as beautiful as she is by her dresser.
We excuse ourselves from the princess. Our work is done. I wish you happy marriage with the prince who has found your beloved diamond. I hope you're happy.
Thank you, I'd be happy. For my friends is a handsome and dashing man like my father. I can't wait for my friends. I will just wait to later rooms.
How could that marry Tina to a werewolf? Didn't you think of Tina's feelings?
Father has promised, and it is Tina's destiny to marry a demon frog and be the object of His Royal Highness. Break the promise where we have made. You know how we are.
This brought tears to Tina's eyes and turned her mouth shut to contain her crying. Tina quickly went back to her room and locked the door. He sat down on the floor and leaned against the door. Tina feels that her world is falling apart. His heart was hurt and let down, especially with the customary and people's words. It's like old memories are repeating in his mind. The old memories he had buried long ago are now reopening for the umpteenth time.
Oh my God! Why I shoot again? Suffer is bad luck. I'm the lucky person in the world.
Guard, why is Prince Tina's room locked? Is it the finish with the makeup?
Princess Tina has finished her makeup before second princess marriage took place. And then even the stylist has gone back to do his work elsewhere.
Tina, open the door. Tina, guard, we escape to the spare room of my dear. Tina. Tina!
At last Tina's door was opened, and it was surprising that Tina wasn't in her room. There's only a wedding dress left on the floor and a messy dresser. The loss of Tina's daughter all over the country even shocked everyone at the news of Tina's lost daughter. Other kingdoms helped to find Tina's daughter. The guards laid out a sketch of Tina's missing daughter. Security in the country went looking for Tina's daughter, while the king and his brothers were very concerned about Tina's daughter. Tina has been living in the middle of the woods for days after her escape from the castle. Now he is living in a hut that has not been used for a long time and cleans it. Then looks for wood to make his bed, for food to eat in the forest, for firewood to warm the night, and brings water to drink and to bathe. Every day he does it alone and gets lonely. She misses her brothers and her father and the people inside the castle. This simple life was unimaginable, because Tina's life has been indulged in by her servants since childhood. And her father has provided for her needs. Too bad about her fate now.
If I did, then my bad luck will be lost. I went to meet Mom, because Dad can't care about me until he gave me up to a frog. I'm ashamed of.
Then Tina's feet stepped out into the middle of the beach to drown herself. After feeling that his body couldn't return to the mainland, Tina yum in the water. That now really his unlucky fate would end after he had ended his life.
Thanks, God. You're awake.
Why did you save my life, Frog?
Because you're very young and you have a lot to live with.
None of this world had happened if my life hadn't been so miserable in the world.
Let's talk about two of us. I don't want you to feel burned until you and your very young life. You have awakened, child. Daddy's a little girl. Daddy miss you so much.
We miss you too, sister.
We miss you too, sister.
Well, there is Frog.
Tina, where are you going?
No, Frog is good. To me, he can know.
Tina then ran out of the castle and asked her guard to get a horse and buggy ready for the village hall. All the way to Tina praying the frog won't die. He loves that frog. It is unlikely that 2 weeks with the frogs get to know the frogs better and make them comfortable with him. He wants the frog with him forever. Because Tina feels that a frog has given her the key to life she's been looking for. His life wasn't as much fun as he had with a frog. At the village hall, Tina saw her mob of people around the execution grounds. Tina kept coming through the crowd, and as she saw the hangman about to drop a cut on the frog whose legs and hands were tied, she screamed.
Stop it!
Hangman was shocked to see Princess Tina ending this sentence. Then Tina would approach the frog and untie her legs and arms.
Tina, what are you doing? You were given and you didn't want to be with him, did you? This is your change. If the frog, this you can be free of the commutation.
In fact, I love him very much today. I am willing to marry him because I love you him.
Tina, no I thought your love for me was pure.
No, bro. No.
Tina, her, I am the frog you are holding.
You're lying. The frog is frog, not man.
What you believe? A frog speak if he really was a frog? I am actually cursed to be a frog since I was born because my mother was a witch who married a mere human being King Aiden. The curse will come you found the royal hair, me, and the curse will end if a sin-cursed woman loves me. Thank you for leaving me. I have loved you for you so long and wait for this day.
Why didn't you tell us that last time?
I cannot speak of my curse to anyone because the curse won't go away forever if I say this curse.
No, I don't know your name yet. From which country, which kingdom, and I haven't met your family either. How could you have?
Yes, my name is Tian from across land in the kingdom of Agar. My mother is Queen Diana and my father is Aiden. I will take you to my friend and ask them for their blessing.
Then Tina released the pinch on. Then everyone is happy about the happiness Tina gets from being a frog prince. 1 week later, Prince Tien and Tina's wedding was more extravagant than Tina's 2 brothers. For marriage he will do it once because Tina is a woman and her last. Then the wedding is over. Tina said goodbye to her father to start her new life in the cross-country and became a future queen because the Tian was about to be crowned king in her own country.